Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 25 with the Slothz team deep in development work here as we kick things off immediately with a rear wing research. Not that it matters too much because we do of course have a massive problem with development at the moment, constantly failing. Now I guess the first thing I should start with is that I was very impressed with this game actually in this development side, at least. Previous games that I've played, at least, you would have to basically spend all of your research points getting all of the upgrades for the car and then immediately just have them. And that would kind of result in it being very easy to become the best car on the grid and then be able to beat everybody very easily. So the fact that we got this development factored in as well with quite a high failure rate does mean that we're struggling to become overpowered early on, but we are going to start developing some more parts now. There we go, there's another thing getting failed as we continue to push through. I had 25 minutes of footage to try and trim down for this segment. That's incredible, actually. Usually it would take me about 5 minutes to go through all of the R&D and then get straight on with practice. But, oh yeah, we also had a season break here, of course, so there was a little bit extra time spent doing the first lot of activities and then, of course, moving on after that big time jump. So, event-wise, we've got another event coming up here, and we're going to do the larger investment. Continue developing, continue upgrading, and start the season break. So a bit of a leap forward and straight over to development to see what is finished. The monocoque is ready to go on the next development piece. Still working on the ERS and the internal combustion engine, but we've got some research points. We're going to go for that rear floor under tray and continue on. Another activity coming in. That was just the results of the previous one we did, and we start developing that rear wing upper flap. Still a massive list to get through here. We started some talks with Nico Hulkenberg, pulled him in since he's been doing quite well in qualifying over the past few races. And research delayed from that for that rear floor under tray. And we keep going. So many activities. We've got Taylor Barnard coming in for his second round of talks. We've got more development finishing there. I think that was the ERS upgrade. Another corporate event. Monocoque structure failed again on development. What a surprise. We've seen this 100 times before. We're now not going to have this until after the Canadian Grand Prix. But we do get one of the ERS upgrades at least. So we'll attach it to our car and then pick up a tyre blankets upgrade as well. Mainly to help out with the tyre wear issues on the rears, so I have been noticing a huge amount of rear wear going on throughout the previous 5 races that we've done, including the sprint race as well. Of course, those intermediate tyres were a little bit worse for wear by the end of that session. And we're going to keep picking up the resource points here as we go through practice. This one, of course, we've got 3 practice sessions once again, so this should be pretty easy to get all of the points. But we've run out of time in P1 at least. And moving on to P2, once again, going for these research points. They're the main thing that we want, although I guess if anything, we'll try and research the parts that don't require any development, at least until we've got a better development. I'm not sure what affects the success rate. All I know is that our owner is, or the owner has that bonus, so we'll get extra research points if we fail a development, which happens pretty often. And I'm pretty certain as well that we keep failing ones that I've already failed. So it's not just a case of hope that it only fails once and then move on. It's basically guaranteed next time. It seems to fail multiple times. At least that's what I get the feeling it's doing. So finally on to P3. We've got a lot of durability upgrades here because across the board we've pretty much not researched anything besides those internal combustion engine durability upgrades. So all of like the lowest tier upgrade or research is available to us. We've just not decided to take it. Unfortunately, that means that we're just going to get discounts on that instead. So over to Canada we go for one of my favourite circuits on the F1 calendar. Unfortunately, looking quite grey up there for this race, and hopefully we don't see any rain. It was a wet qualifying, I will just mention, so it didn't go very well actually. As you'd expect from my performance in the wet, was not very good. Probably did not help either that I didn't even try and get a banker lap pin. I just went straight for it, having forgotten how to drive this circuit. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, and we will get down to the grid to see the starting order for the Canadian Grand Prix. As I said, we didn't do very well in qualifying, so don't expect too much from me here. As we get underway with the front row, it's Max Verstappen once again starting on the on pole position. He's alongside Oscar Piastri. And further down the order, we have Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda and Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon. Then we have Nico Hülkenberg and Lance Stroll, Gabriel Bortoleto and Pierre Gasly. Then Victor Martins and Alex Albon, Kimi Antonelli and Isaac Hadjar, Taylor Barnard and Jack Doohan, and finally it's Liam Lawson and Ollie Behrman making up the very back row. Now, I am much better at the Canadian Grand Prix than I am at Miami, so hopefully we'll be able to push through at least to score some points. I would like to get a podium here because we haven't had a podium for quite some time now, and I'm starting to miss the taste of champagne. So let's see how we can get on here, and hopefully we get some rain to spice up the order, but not too much that I end up crashing and burning, and maybe even a safety car or two can pop out a little bit later on just to really spice things up. But with that all done, let's get on with the Canadian Grand Prix. Alright then, it is not 5 red lights, now it's 5 red lights, and it's a very long hole, but away we go here. 19th is our starting position. What could we make up here at the start as we power down towards turn 1? We're going to go down the inside of Antonelli. There's Albon ahead of us. He's going to cut across the apex and just stop us from moving up a position. We're already up to P16. 3 positions gained. We're going to go to the inside here against Gasly. Can we hold on as we go through this chicane? Yes, we can. 2 more positions gained, 1 from our teammate and 1 from the Alpine. We've got Bortoleto up ahead of us, who we know might be being a little bit slow, so we can get past him quite easily, and even more so after the lap 1 ERS mass deployment has finished. As we come down towards yet another chicane, we're going to go to the inside. Oh, lose at the rear there, nearly hit Bortoleto with the back end of our car, just swinging around and slapping him, but we managed to keep it together. Here's the pass on Gasly, caught sleeping whilst he was defending against our teammate. And we rejoin at the hairpin on lap 1. We underfueled the car here because apparently I forgot to do that on every previous race, so we're a little bit lighter at the start, attributing to some better handling, I think, as Bortoleto tries to fight back into the Wall of Champions, but he fails on that inside line, and we take P13. Next couple of cars ahead of us, both on the hard tyre, so we should have the advantage here as we slip and slide our way through another chicane and down this DRS straight. Hülkenberg also getting the tow from Stroll a little further ahead. We dive to the inside of Hülkenberg. I think there was a corner cut there, but the stewards have not mentioned anything over the radio, and they've allowed us to have that position. There's the confirmation that that might have been an illegal overtake, but on this occasion, we're not going to give the place back. We all know how that went last time in Japan, as we line up a move on Lance Stroll. Unbelievably, the crowd are cheering us on instead of Lance Stroll. They want him to move backwards on the circuit as we touch the grass slightly and go around the outside. Stroll is hanging on, but the crowd are chanting our name here Taylor Barnard as we go through and retake P11. Up ahead, Carlos Sainz. And also, if you notice, the rain has begun. As we line up a move on Carlos Sainz here towards the wall, the champions are going to go to the outside. Again, a tyre advantage to us. And we get that position done, but we are slipping and sliding around. And he is right behind us, ready to capitalise on any mistakes that we make here. Already losing quite a lot of grip there. You can see us fighting the car through the first couple of corners. This is on board with Sainz. Swipes to the inside, and that is how we got the position away from him. And you can see he's got much more composure as he tries to fight back as we lose the car completely there through the chicane. Sainz is going to get that position back from us, and even Stroll is having a look. Boos come from the crowd, and apparently we hit Carlos as he drove past. I find that hard to believe, but okay. We are going to get a better run out of the hairpin, though, as his hard tyres have started to lose grip a bit faster than us. Or maybe we're just a little bit better at getting the power down. But the rain is coming on harder now, and it's time to pull into the pits. No one else has come in yet, so we may be a bit early with this strategy call. But we'll just have to see. The inters will be going on. Still nobody else joining us just yet. So this is either going to go terribly wrong or terribly right as we move our way onto lap 6. And we've caught the rest of the field, well, at least Liam Lawson anyway, as we slide our way. We've still not got total grip there through the wall of champions. We did get called out by the stewards for corner cutting on that occasion. But thanks to everybody piling to the pit lane, we have moved up into P3. We've lost the place, P4, P5 now as we rejoin behind Sonoda. And we've got Fernando Alonso behind us now and Esteban Ocon. So we did actually move up ahead of Ocon with that undercut there. Thank goodness. And the DRS has been disabled for the rain. Unbelievable stuff as we join Bortoletto. Are we about to see another Sauber retirement this season? Yes, we are. The smoke has begun to emerge from the back of the green Sauber. There goes our teammate. New position for him. And everyone causing, well, issues being caused there by the smoke screen being put up by Bortoletto. He's pulled off to the side as we join Kimi Antonelli for the second time this season, choosing to breathe in multitudes of toxic gases and smoke from the back of the Sauber. Antonelli clearly has a distinguished taste for that by now. As we join Gasly, retired from the Miami Grand Prix, spinning again and parking it on the circuit. Is he trying to cause another safety car? There goes our teammate. There goes Carlos Sainz through. And Kimi Antonelli's hit Pierre Gasly. Unbelievable. The effects of the smoke he was inhaling earlier have finally come back to bite him. You can see that Sainz was going through, albeit quite slow, and Kimi Antonelli just drives straight into the side of Gasly. He's on a high, which he can't get back from, and that caused a red flag. So at the restart then, we're up into P5, but we've got Sonoda. Well, Sonoda's gone. We've overtaken Sonoda immediately, but the rain is much heavier now, and Sonoda's going to have a look at trying to get past us. The AI being very cautious here, as are we, because it is incredibly slippery out there through these first few corners. Verstappen is already pulling a little bit of a gap there as we slide our way around the back of Hamilton, and unfortunately don't really make a huge amount of progress. Thankfully though, this little group of 4 has pulled away, and this is the point where the rain has actually stopped. Not much was going on during that wet period, and it looks as though Piastri and Norris are double stacking again, and that is going to cost Lando Norris quite significantly there as the McLaren pit crew just warp the tyres into the shadow realm somehow, rather than just rolling them back into the garage. And we're up to P2 as we jump Hamilton as well. And Piastri. I'm not even entirely sure why Piastri... Oh, the massive slide there You can see the rain is still actually coming down here, but we've nearly got control of the situation. But yeah, Piastri apparently with a slow stop caused the issue for Norris. He's actually all the way, well, he's still in 5th. He was there to begin with anyway. But still not great from the McLaren pit crew. And Verstappen up ahead appears to be struggling. We're going to go down the inside. He touches us, but we haven't quite been able to get room. And he struggles out of the chicane. He's going to try and fight back. But we're not even deploying ERS right now, and he brakes incredibly early. I don't think he's got a fully working car there, or maybe his engine, power unit, battery, whatever, has started to degrade significantly, and he's just lost so much power. We've been able to pull a 1-second gap over Verstappen already, and actually that little battle that we had has allowed Piastri to gain and make some progress there. He now gets past Max Verstappen, and that little battle in turn allowed Lewis Hamilton to catch up. And it looks like the pit wall have been throwing some pit bulls onto the grass as we join again. Hamilton on Verstappen now towards the wall of champions. Oh, and Lewis Hamilton goes around Piastri as well. Unbelievable stuff here, and this is fantastic for us because we're now 5.5 seconds clear of these 3 drivers as they scrap over the podium positions as we rejoin them again. Hamilton now going to be the one under pressure, but they are closing in. They are much faster than I am around here, at least, and they've all got DRS off each other. But oh, that is the safety car out, which is going to neutralize the race. This is Alex Albon through the first chicane section, loses to the end of the car, and he smashes into the barrier. That was a big hit there for Alex Albon. He's not moving. I don't know if he's okay. He wasn't moving, but we are going to continue on anyway. Into the pits we go for a gamble. Oh, and Lewis Hamilton stayed out. Unbelievable. With 11 laps to go. Tsunoda's come in as well. So the 4 race leaders, as they are now, Hamilton, Piastri, Verstappen and Norris, have stayed out of the hard tyre. Unbelievable. This could be a repeat of Abu Dhabi 2021 because we're going on to the mediums. I don't trust the softs after what happened in Miami. Leclerc's in as well. He's onto a new set of hards. There comes our teammate. The entire field have come in under the safety car. 4 new tyres. It's really mixed up. The tyre strategy going on there. Everyone's on random stuff. Ocon's on the soft. That might be a bit of ambitious to get to the end. We're already closing on Norris out of the final corner. We're past before we even get to turn 1. And this is going to be absolutely devastating for Verstappen, Piastri and Hamilton, who have remained out. In fact, coming into the pits might have reset the power unit for Verstappen and fixed whatever issue he was having. At least that's how it seems to work on the previous games anyway. Maybe the AI get that too. But Hamilton's going to be trying everything he can to try and get away from us. He knows full well what it's like to be in that position, only this time he has the benefit that Verstappen isn't right behind him on a new set of softs, but we are behind him on a new set of mediums. As we come down towards the hairpin, Verstappen under massive pressure here. He's so slow through the hairpin as we get the power down. ERS deploy. He's going to shut the door on the right-hand side. We're going to have to go left here. No DRS still. We're still on the opening lap after the safety car was deployed. Verstappen is trying his best to fight, but he slots in behind us. And now we chase down Oscar Piastri, and we're going to have DRS on this next lap as well. There it is. Somehow still not got the fastest lap, though. Lewis Hamilton still has that, but we did set the fastest sector free, having just completely emptied the battery. And Piastri's already out of shape here as we come down towards the first chicane. We're all over the place here. Force him a little wide, and we get past. That's probably going to put him under immense pressure from Verstappen, but we're up into P2. Finally on the podium. Here's the onboard of Piastri as he slides around all over the place. I think perhaps moving to the left might have been a terrible decision for him on that occasion. As we now watch Yuki Tsunoda. Can he make it a second race in a row, finishing ahead of Verstappen as he comes through the chicane? lining up nicely towards the hairpin, slide in the rear just to disrespect him even more as Tsunoda goes around the outside of Max Verstappen and powers down the DRS straight. He is going to get DRS. He was behind at the detection zone, and that is going to help him to pull away. And up next, it's Oscar Piastri, but can Piastri defend for another 4 laps as they come through past the pit wall? I can see Jos Verstappen has taken position with his sniper rifle in that FIA box above where the checkered flag will be flown later on. Tsunoda will be receiving countless death threats from Jos and will be told to slow down. But I don't think he's going to. He's already gained a 5.5 second gap as we now go around Lewis Hamilton, and he is a sitting duck here. But we do have 3 laps remaining to try and hold this position. The tyres, given that it's my tyres, are not in the best position right now. And this is Tsunoda. Can he make it onto the podium for the first time since the 2021 F1 co-op career, where he drove for Ferrari, Red Bull and Mercedes in a single, across 3 seasons, I believe. He actually did quite well in that season, I won't lie. But here we go, coming towards the end of the penultimate lap. The tyres are not looking good. That rear left is really looking worn out, and that's going to be a hamstring injury to us as Hamilton late on the brakes into the hairpin. And unfortunately for us, he waited until after the detection zone, so he is going to get DRS as well. And that's just going to give us 1 lap to try and get past him. And it's going to be tough because that rear left is really, really holding us back here. He's gained so much, and he's going to get the DRS once again down the pit straight. Nearly lose the car into the wall of champions. Tsunoda's still holding on ahead of Piastri. Piastri's got DRS on him, though, potentially into this final lap as well, as the rear of the car is just absolutely ruined at this point. We're still sliding all over the place. That tyre blanket upgrade could not come sooner, and we might even have to go further and take the next one after it as well, because this is really getting tough at this point, especially as my rear downforce upgrades keep failing development. But here we go, DRS zone number 1. Can we close in on Hamilton? We've got a chance into the hairpin. He is going to be going quite slow through there, as all of the AI have been throughout this Grand Prix. And we've closed up to just over half a second now. We're going to have to be late on the brakes coming through here. We've closed up nicely, but we slide the rears. And we're trying to get the power down. We just can't. We've lost some time there. This might just be what Lewis Hamilton needed. The DRS is open as we come down the final straight towards the wall of champions. Lewis Hamilton has stayed ahead. He's made up for what happened in 2021 in Abu Dhabi. And he's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Oh, Barnard's lost it. He's lost the car at the finish line again. But he picks up P2. He's not moving, though. I don't think he's okay. He's very much... He's shaking, actually. He is shaking. I think he's alive. He got driver of the day. That should cheer him up. But Lewis Hamilton, again, picking up his 2nd win of the season. And that Ferrari is going to be an issue if it continues this performance all season long. We've had Leclerc doing extremely well. Hamilton now with 2 wins under his belt, despite that opener in Australia having a DNF for him. And there we go. Potentially, he could make it. Championship number 8. He did win the championship on my final season of F1 23. And let's just see how the rest of this season pans out. So on to the race results then. Lewis Hamilton picks up the win, followed by Taylor Barnard and Yuki Tsunoda. The rest of the point scorers were made up of Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, George Russell and Victor Martins picks up yet another point. Over to the Drivers' Championship then, we've extended our 2-point lead to 8 points over Oscar Piastri, and Lewis Hamilton jumps up the order to 3rd, now just 13 points behind us. Then we have Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly and Kimi Antonelli making up the top 10. Further down the order, we have Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Jack Doohan, Alex Albon, Isaac Hadjar, Nico Hulkenberg, Victor Martins and Ollie Behrman making up the final point scorer, followed by Liam Lawson, Gabriel Bortoletto, Esteban Ocon and Carlos Sainz still yet to score. And finally, over to the constructors. Ferrari is still at the top of the table ahead of McLaren and Red Bull, but we are closing in on that third place slot. Currently, we're in fourth. Then we have Mercedes, Alpine, Aston Martin, Williams, RB, Kick Sauber, and finally Haas. That's all for this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.